across the 40, stays on his feet, cuts it back. Marion Brown, another kickoff return for a touchdown.
Look out! There goes two! No flags! Touchdown!
Howard in trouble!
Here's complete! And the Michigan Wolverines will shock the college football world! Time coming off. Howard's going to run for it. Time runs out. And that'll do it! Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Big Ten, Oregon! They storm the field at Austin! He handed it off to Love, who stays on his feet. Love is in the end zone! Notre Dame has won the Orange Bowl, and Marcus Freeman is taking them to the championship game.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Week 0 podcast. I'm your host, Connor. Let's be frank, Lynn Doherty. To my left is Ryan, Huck the ACC, Haverl, as we like to say, Huck the Fuskies. And of course, I feel like you need to change that since we're on a YouTube, Ryan, just in case. But the F word.
We're good. We're good.
Trust me, we're not big enough. We're not big enough.
No. Fuck the ACC. There you go. Go ahead.
And then of course we got our main man Phil, who is he's like the what am I trying to think of? He's like Puxatawny Phil. He pokes his head up every once in a while, and we're surprised that he stays up and he's able to see his shadow every so often. Kind of pop up, and you're just like, oh, hey, I'm still here, and then I pop back down. But how was everybody? How was everyone's Thanksgiving? Because I believe I was not able to do the show that Friday night, so I don't know if we had a show or not.
No, we didn't. We did not.
Didn't have a show. So how was everyone's Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was great. Outside of having to wait till 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 my time to watch Notre Dame play Stanford, and the game didn't go over till damn near 2 a.m. So that's fun. And then nothing. We'll talk about it, but rivalry week was just boring as fuck.
Real quick. I forgot to make my pick, but the AAC championship, North Texas versus Tulane, is starting right now. What are you guys' picks?
North Texas.
I got Tulane.
You got okay. So Ryan's got North Texas. You've got Tulane. I think I don't know what Lucas. I'm
guessing we all took JMU too for the
I did.
Right?
I did take JMU.
Okay.
I thought that play was hurt. He literally was just laying there.
And then was it Kennesaw State?
I'll take North Texas. Their offense looks incredible. And then is there another game later?
Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State.
Oh, later tonight?
They're playing right now. Who
Jacksonville.
I'm taking Jacksonville State.
Kennesaw. That'd be hilarious if they like in their second year they somehow it breaks to where they end up making the college football playoff.
Wow.
Well, and also Boise State, UNLV. That game starts here soon.
UNLV.
Boise State.
The elite program that is UNLV.
An elite program.
After I watched part of the Boise State, who did they play last week? I can't remember who they played, but they
played Utah State.
They did not look impressive, in my opinion. I'll take the elite program of UNLV. So North Texas, UNLV, and I'll take Kennesaw State.
Okay.
So
all right, let's go ahead and get into these.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't realize that those games had started. I apologize. So kind of a lot of news happened in the 2 weeks that we've been since last year. Of course, it's unfortunate that Josh is not here to talk about this. So actually, here let's do this. So, set to hire. Was his name Will Stein, right?
Will Stein, the Oregon OC. Yeah.
Yeah. So Josh is finally free of Mike Stoops. Kentucky taking a. I didn't even know this guy was a name that would be out there, but he has big connections to Kentucky. Will Stein does. I think he either played or was a walk-on or something at Kentucky.
He's a Kentucky. Yeah, he's a Kentucky.
He's a Kentucky grad. He played there. And I think it's now. I saw on Twitter that Kentucky's schedule next year is ridiculously hard. like ridiculous. But I like the idea of bringing a guy like this in to modernize and hopefully bring a creative, good offense to the Kentucky to help them maybe keep up with some of the other programs in the SEC. I mean, what were you guys' thoughts on this firing and then hiring that Kentucky did?
I personally never thought Kentucky would fire Mike Stoops, mainly because, let's be honest with ourselves, and I know Josh isn't here, but sorry, Josh, because you guys are about to catch some strays. You guys, Kentucky will forever and always be a basketball school. They will always put all of their money towards basketball. There is a limitation at Kentucky in terms of what you can do on the football field. And I personally felt like Mike Stoops was doing the most he could at a place that it's very impossible. Not impossible, but it's very hard to win at a high level and consistently in a conference like the SEC. So I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, Stoops, to his credit, did put Kentucky in a place that they're not used to for a few years there, where he had them at
9-3. Yeah.
9-3. He had it. There's at least 2 years, right, with 10+ wins.
10. Yeah, there was
a couple years ago. Like he took them to a good spot, but I think it's just these other obviously the difference in the resources for the football programs just kind of caught up to them once the NIL, because I think that was kind of right. That was as NIL was starting to become a thing, and it hadn't really gotten to where it is now. So he was he was like one of the first ones that kind of took advantage of that. Was able to build them up like that. But now that all these other big SEC schools have those NIL machines running, they couldn't keep up. I think that's really what happened, unfortunately. Plus, I think the offense just wasn't innovative enough, was kind of boring, wasn't really good the past couple of years. So I think that was just a big issue as well. He just wasn't able to kind of keep up with the changes in the offensive kind of schemes that are prevalent now.
Yeah. Again, I think he did what he could. I just thought it was one of those things where they were never going to fire him because it's like it could get very bad. But I do think Will Stein's a very good hire. He's been a up-and-coming assistant coach for a long time, and he's a great offensive mind. And he's very good at developing quarterbacks.
Yeah, and of course, the important thing to remember is he will be sticking with Oregon, of course, through the rest of the season. At the very least, he's not pulling a Lane Kiffin. He's not doing that. I feel like, also real quick, I feel like if Lane stuck with Ole Miss all the way through the college football playoff, he wouldn't be he would come out looking a lot rosier than he is now, just going straight to LSU like that. You know what I mean? So Will Stein's doing the right thing by sticking with them to at least ensure that Oregon can possibly go out with a title, and you can be like, hey, I just helped lead this Oregon offense to a championship, right? So,
Bill?
Yep. Yeah, so I'm with Ryan. I didn't think that they would fire Stoops. It did seem like, he would be there as long as he wanted to be, especially with him lockering Michigan over and over again on the recruiting trail. A couple times he did that, including for a 4-star running back last season. But at the end of the day, man, everybody wants to win. I do think that people need to take a step back, really evaluate their program and their situation. Like a program like Kentucky, every once in a while you can hit these 10 win, kind of high points when, maybe some other programs are down or young. But for the most part, you aren't Bama, right? You're not Georgia, you're not LSU, and you're not even Tennessee, and I don't want to disrespect Tennessee or anything like that. But now, with the introduction of Texas and Oklahoma, Texas A&M, like, how far down the totem pole Kentucky is in terms of football, in that conference, by the way.
they're down bad.
Yeah. So,
years.
but I do think some of these programs like view themselves as like these guys that can like, oh, we can compete for the national championship every year. A program like Kentucky isn't one of those, shouldn't be viewing themselves that way, at least until they have done that consistently.
And that's the thing. I know I'm making it a bit about VT, but that's the thing when a bunch of Penn State fans, I'm sure you were seeing, were like, good luck with James Franklin. He's not going to help you win a championship. I'm like, dude, VT has no views right now, at least the fan base doesn't, that they are going to be able to compete for a championship within the first year, maybe within the first 2 or 3 years with
Franklin. But even with that situation, it's a little different, right?
Yeah.
Sure, VT has been down, right? And I'm not saying that they, even when they aren't down, that they are Clemson
they were a title contender.
Exactly, but they have a history of winning the ACC, right? Something that they can do. And by the way, with a guy like Franklin, the attention that he's going to bring there, the resources now that you guys have dedicated to sports, right?
Not just football, the entire
exactly right.
Yeah.
And the fact that he recruits that area, that mid-Atlantic area, that's like he's right in his like wheelhouse here. I do expect, maybe not next year, like you said, maybe not the year after, but I do expect them at some point to compete in the ACC, because that's different than that SEC gauntlet that I just described.
Yeah, and obviously that's a whole other issue that we'll probably eventually talk about. Obviously the ACC is overall as a conference down pretty bad right now.
And Virginia Tech also has more ACC championships than Miami.
Right.
Putting that out there.
Finding any, we have you and all of us here sitting here today, the three of us, having never played college football, we have as many ACC championships combined
as Miami. Yeah. Let that thing in. Yeah. The biggest.
I don't even think they've been into a title game.
They've been once. Actually, Notre Dame and Miami have been to the same amount of ACC championships. Ain't that
That's crazy?
You actually won one during the pandemic year when you guys decided to join a conference for 1 year. Yeah. And you were just like, no, it's just like Notre Dame joins a conference, wins the whole thing, wins the tournament, makes the college football playoff.
Everybody's like, join a conference.
No, Ryan, wait. No, it's Notre Dame joins a conference, wins it, and then leaves with no questions answered.
Right.
Leaves. He's just done.
You realize how we basically, we'll get into it later, but we basically bitched the ACC with that entire thing.
Yeah.
But
okay. Yeah. So I mean, and I don't think there's anything else really to say. It's a good move. I like the move, bringing in a guy like Stein. He has those connections. Maybe that'll help recruit Kentucky a little bit. But I think that's all we need to really say about that at this time. I don't know if there's anything else we have to say.
Yeah.
So the new Penn State swung and missed on about 7 different guys after waiting 2 months to try and get somebody. What are you doing, Ryan?
I'm not doing anything. I'm not touching anything. I haven't touched.
Why is it going on? Oh, it's on a timer. That's what?
Why
is it on a timer? I don't.
That's a new feature. Yeah.
Don't want it on a timer. Just leave it
crazy.
off. Will it go away? Yeah. Well, okay. How do I do this? Oh, you do them individually. Ew, that's interesting. Okay. Sorry, I thought you were doing something, Ryan. I didn't know. Yeah, I saw the timer thing. I was confused. Anyway, yeah. So Penn State, after 2 months trying to find a coach, and then seeing possibly one of the worst national signing day performances ever, which is something we'll also get into in a little bit, has hired Matt Campbell from Iowa State to an 8-year deal. My initial reaction real quick is that long of a deal is a little bit of a panic, trying to ensure that they keep a guy like Campbell, who for the past couple of years was thrown out there for a bunch of other big name programs because of how well he had turned the Cyclones around to being a decently competitive team in the Big 12. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts seeing those details that just came out probably just about an hour ago? So
first things first. Iowa State fans, welcome back to the basement of the Big 12.
Well, actually, real quick, and there's actually another thing we can talk about too.
Yeah,
Iowa State, in response, is hiring.
Oh God, yes.
Jimmy Rogers,
Welcome
as
back.
head coach.
Who they hired?
Back.
Jim,
The dude
his name is Jimmy Rogers. He was the head coach of Wazoo. He's been at 3 different schools as head coach in 3 years. In 2023, he actually led South Dakota State to a national championship title. In 2023, gets hired at Wazoo. I don't know what they did. Probably 5-7, 6-6 this first year.
terrible.
Yeah.
They were mid to bad, and then Iowa State is now hiring him. So he's moved 3 different schools in a 3-year period,
But
going
really
from the
quick.
FBS levels up to the Big 12 now. So that's I kind of had these both together. So, I mean, we can talk about Penn State first.
If you have watched Washington State football the last couple of years, yeah, Iowa State fans get ready to be back at the basement of the Big 12.
Hey,
We
bro.
remember. And some of us might have forgot, but I feel like we remember what Iowa State used to be before Matt Campbell. Doormat of the Big 12 would be putting it nicely. They were like the Purdue and the Vanderbilt of the Big 12 every year.
Damn, man.
And I think now you're headed that way. Penn State, this is an amazing hire. I think it's crazy that this is like your 8th choice. Josh Pate, when the job first came open, was like, the clear and obvious option, the first person you should call would be Matt Campbell. But Penn State, they're not going to do that. They're going to call everybody
every other name possible.
Every other name possible.
I'm sure they also called Franklin. It was like, hey, or tried Brent Pryor's like, hey, I know you used to be a defensive coordinator. Do you want to come back to Penn State?
They probably did call Franklin after they were swinging and missing.
They probably fired. No, that's legit. They probably fired Franklin. Was like, hey, boo, sorry that we broke up. Do you want to get back?
You know, you get that. Hey, big head text.
Hey, big head, you up? That 3 a.m. text the night after you break. No, you break up. A night later, you're like, hey, big head, you up?
It's left on red.
No, he leaves it. No, you see, he
takes a picture of him,
and then you see the 3 dots, like he's trying to send something, and he doesn't send anything, and you're just like,
or wait, even better. He leaves you on red for a day, and the next day you wake up in the morning, and he sends you a picture of him with his new bitch VT, like that.
Like, it's the photo of him on it. It's the photo of him standing there on the that they took of him with the flag on the field. He just looks like he's ready to like run into battle for VT. He's like, I'm the captain of the VT army now.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. Okay, so I mean, where do you? So obviously, Penn State crazy couple of days now with trying to get those guys. Now overall bad. Ironically enough, actually, one of their guys that they signed on signing day first was originally actually committed to VT back in 2024, decommitted, committed to Auburn, decommitted, and then committed to Penn State.
Wow. So they actually signed somebody yesterday.
They signed 2 people.
2.
A 4-star quarterback, and then Jackson Ford, who's like a 4-star DN, but just 2 people.
Bro.
Wow.
That thing is bare. They were down to like 150 in the country or something.
They ended up lower than where VT was before Franklin got there.
No, hold on. It's so bad. There were FCS teams that had better recruiting classes than Penn State.
I think there was even a few that were not even good FCS. Like, of course, you're like have a North Dakota State, South Dakota State, those powerhouses, FCS teams that. You know, those will be higher. Those will be like 100s and stuff.
I'm pretty sure Chattanooga State Aquarium College had a better recruiting class than Penn State.
Hey.
Aquarium College.
Don't sleep on the mocks. Don't sleep on the Chattanooga mocks.
No, this is Chattanooga State Aquarium.
Oh,
right?
my
God. No. Remember, don't sleep on Chattanooga.
I know, I get that, but I'm talking about Chattanooga State Aquarium College. Okay. Like they're
hell, I'm sure UNCW probably had a better recruiting class, and they don't even have a fucking football team. They haven't had one for 20 years.
That's crazy.
All right.
Yeah, so Terry Smith is apparently expected to stay. That's another thing too. at Penn State.
Good for him.
So, Phil,
Yep.
as the main initial Big Ten guy of our group, before Oregon, of course, joined and Lucas.
What up, Kinetic?
What? Yeah, dude, we've been talking about this, Kinetic. What is your thoughts on the Penn State? Getting Matt Campbell. Where do you think this leaves Penn State right now in the next couple of years at the very least?
Well, look, I mean, Matt Campbell's a good coach. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a bad coach. I do think he's a good coach. I think the 8-year contract shows the desperation of the Nittany Lions right now. I think they're in a bad situation right now. That said, you fired a guy who couldn't, beat Ohio State and Michigan and some of the other top teams over there on a regular basis, to hire a guy who can't regularly beat Iowa. I'm not saying that, this is I think this is a good hire for them. Let me say that again, reiterate that. But it also
that's clear from the get-go. That's your first initial thoughts, but there's still issues.
Yeah, like I just think you are back in a situation where you're going to win 8-9 games this season.
I mean, yeah, it's I think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be much of a challenge in the first year, obviously, with how bad this recruiting class was. So, why should who care? Why should who care? Why should Michigan care? Michigan at this point is looking at Penn State as like a flea with how.
Oh, he's saying we should care?
Oh, wait, no, hold on. He's talking about Chris Henry stayed with Ohio State. He's an Ohio State fan. He's saying Michigan should care that Chris Henry Jr. stayed with Ohio State.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. Like, I wasn't one of those guys that was like celebrating Chris Henry not signing because the other school was Oregon, which is another Big Ten school. Either way, we were going to have to deal with this dude. Yeah. So I was
also real quick, Kinetic. He's a VT fan because his daughter goes to VT. That's why he's a VT fan as well. Right. So we got a full true VT fan and we got a pseudo VT fan.
Yeah, the only time you got to worry about it. Only time you got to worry about is if Virginia Tech for some reason plays Michigan.
Yes, it's the only time that would be coming.
Well, then the decision's easy for me. By the way, we're wearing maize and blue. But my daughter, I'm sure.
This just means Phil, you really do have to come with us this year to VT.
I'm gonna be there. What game are you going to?
We're trying to figure that out. We're
trying to figure out which one.
Yeah, definitely. We got to figure it out.
I have my sister's wedding in mid to late September, so we have to.
Congratulations!
Go around that. So, well, not me. Congratulations to my sister, but.
Well, no, I was saying congratulations to her.
So we'll have to figure that out. But anyway, getting back to it.
Yeah, nobody's worried. I mean, I'm not saying we're not worried about Chris Henry, but we don't have to worry about him next year. I don't believe. Whatever. I mean, you guys always get wide receivers. We
hold on. By the way,
blocker anyway.
By the way, speaking about who cares about Ohio State right now?
Right.
Okay. So
don't you guys got a hold on a second. Don't you guys got a game this week? Lock in.
Lock in.
Meanwhile,
Notre Dame doesn't have a game this week and is frightened.
Yeah, Notre Dame's just sitting here, just kicking their feet up, just watching.
Trying to hold on is what Notre Dame is doing.
True.
Doesn't care about Brian Hartline. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, so is there anything else we feel need to talk about the Penn State stuff?
I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm good with Penn State.
They're
going to win 8 or 9 games a year again.
Any additional thoughts on the Iowa State thing?
I said what I said. Welcome back to the basement.
Hey, yo, so hold on. I want to ask you guys a real question. Is Iowa State an upgrade to Washington State?
I don't know.
I think it's an upgrade in the fact that they're at least in a conference.
Okay. I was going to I take Corvallis. Give me Corvallis over anywhere in Iowa.
Hold on a second.
Oh my God, that running back just got lit.
Washington State is in a conference. What do we do? Washington State just won the Pac-12 championship last Saturday. What are we doing?
Oh right, are they in like the Pac-12 Mountain West kind of thing.
The
They-
Tupac? They're the Tupac over
The
there?
two-pack.
Right.
They're in the 2-pack.
No, like because
Two-pack.
Washington State, it's only Washington State and Oregon State in the conference right now until next year. So
Right.
they played each other the final week of the season, and that's the conference championship.
I like it.
Legit. So Washington State legitimately got to hang a banner for a conference championship.
Wow.
Ain't that fucking crazy?
So wait, are they going to? They're going to the Mountain West?
They're adding the Boise State, like 6 Mountain West teams are leaving the Mountain West to go
To come to the
Pac-12.
new
So
Pac-12.
the Mountain West
Yeah.
is going to be gutted.
I like that because I didn't like them going to the Mountain West. I don't, whatever. Bring back the Pac-12.
The other one we got to was Pat Fitzgerald going to Michigan State. That's kind of an interesting hire.
This is a
Any
good
thoughts on that?
question.
Huh?
I think I give me Matt Campbell though. I think Matt Campbell,
That's fair.
especially Pat Fitzgerald, didn't have the greatest like the last couple
Well,
seasons in
And
Northwestern.
also, to be fair, Matt Campbell never had anything called Shrekmas going on at his program.
and he's not at poor little bro now.
Yeah.
So there you
yeah.
go. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. Rivalry. That's
Rivalry.
I can't say rivalry. My accent. That's the one time.
Rivalry.
That's one of those words that
Rivalry.
really, I don't have an accent except when I try to say certain words, and that's one of them. Rivalry week. Chalk holds. That's a little weirdly worded, but okay. Yeah, there wasn't really any big upsets, sadly.
Besides Texas, that was it.
And I mean, even
It was
then,
meaningless because Texas's season was already over.
Yeah, it doesn't really help them for this to make the playoff, even though Texas fans are going to be bitching that they think they should make it.
Which, by the way, we'll talk about all the playoff stuff here in a second. Sark is a fucking idiot. I just want to say that right now about the whole, you know what? We're just never going to play Ohio State again. We're never going to do it.
That's
But
super soft.
And it's like, motherfucker, you're not in.
That is really soft.
You're benefiting from the loss to Ohio State. Why you're not in the playoff?
It's
is
getting
because you
smacked
lost
by
to
Florida.
Florida. That is your argument. Like that's
Idiot.
so dumb to me.
Idiot. I hope he goes to the NFL. Just let him leave, bro. Go to the NFL. Do something else. By the way, speaking of these coaches, do you guys? I know this is off topic. It's way off topic now, and I don't want to get off the rails. We'll get it back here soon. All right.
I mean, dude, we go off the. It's a requirement with this podcast that we go off the rails. At least
Lane
once.
Kiffin keeps getting jobs. Why? He's literally not won anything.
God, bro, that's so funny. That's so funny and fucking true.
You know what's funny about
funny
him?
thing is we all know exactly how it's always going to end every single time. It's going to end in some unceremonious way, regardless of where he is.
Right.
He's going to end up.
He gets left on the tarmac at USC. He leaves Tennessee randomly.
Right.
Just leave Tennessee randomly
To go to USC, right?
To go to USC. Before that,
He was fired. By the way, my Raiders fired him unceremoniously.
oh god. What was the order? So he was at Tennessee, then USC, then Oakland.
No, he was at Oakland first, right? Then Tennessee, then
USC.
yeah,
Then he went to Alabama to be the OC.
right.
Then was at South or Central. He was at some Florida school, right, as head coach for a year.
You're right. Central Florida, I think.
Was it
right?
Central? No, it was something like that. It was
Florida. It was Florida Atlantic. It was
Florida
Florida
Atlantic.
Atlantic, right?
Then I think it was Florida Atlantic. Then maybe the Alabama OC.
Which
Then
no, hold on, no. He was fired at Alabama first,
Yep.
and then went to FAU. That's
Yeah.
what happened. Because Nick Saban talked about it because they were getting ready for the playoff, and Lane Kiffin was interviewing for jobs in the middle of the playoff, and was gonna take the job. There was somewhere he was gonna take the job.
No, you're right. Yeah. So yeah, he was.
And Saban he's like, hey, he told Saban, he didn't ask Saban. He's like, by the way, I'm thinking about taking this job. I'm probably going to take it and then still coach in the playoff. And Saban's like, no, you're not doing that. And just took it in his own hands and fired him. Then he went to FAU, revitalized his career, then went to Ole Miss. And he only went to Ole Miss because nobody else would hire him. and not even Nick Saban at the time would vouch for him. And it's like, to me, I got pissed at what Brian Kelly did to us, right? But I genuinely feel bad for each fan base that has hired this man, because he always leaves your program.
He truly has no actual loyalty to anybody but himself.
He leaves your program,
which is what Al Davis said. The first person who fired him said when he fired him.
Yeah. Like I dislike Bobby Petrino the way he left the Falcons with those notes he wrote and left in the. I almost like that more than how anytime Lane's left these other programs.
Well, did you see the tweet by one of the Ole Miss players where he said that he called him a liar and there was something else he called him,
like one of the last.
And he's like, yeah, and he's like, he didn't say anything to the players before he left. He just hopped on his private jet.
Yeah, a lot of like the students there, female students have shown the DMs that he. I'm like, bro, you gotta chill out, man.
Hashtag the Lanestein files.
The Lanestein files, right? nasty work. All right, stop it.
Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah. So yeah, rivalry week, unfortunately, was not too exciting. Mostly was chalk. Didn't really see anything.
Sucks when Michigan.
I feel like I feel like we also got teased with some upsets.
Michigan was there for about a half.
Michigan was there. I'll be honest, when Michigan broke that big run and then got the stop on Ohio State,
right?
Broke down the field. I'm thinking, this is fucking deja vu. Here we go again. Ryan Day. Ryan Day when he put Steve
Wow.
Kinetic's just making us lose our train of thoughts here.
But I'm thinking and then the offensive struggle on the first drive, Michigan goes drive down, makes it 6-0. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is deja vu. And then I go, Ryan Day doing it again. He's forgetting that he has Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate. He has receivers. He wants to play the physical game with Michigan, which is just it's not the way to beat Michigan. And then it's like Ryan Day figured out, oh my God, I have Jeremiah Smith on my team. I have Carnell Tate on my team. Fuck yeah, let's go out there and throw it
deep for once.
Yeah, let's throw the ball. And it's then I think once they now Michigan did get hoed on that one touchdown. That should have been a touchback.
Absolutely.
But it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game. Maybe
I agree.
I agree. It would have just taken a touchdown off the board. But
wait, was it because he just stepped out of bounds before?
He caught the ball, fumbled it, didn't have control, and then didn't gain control.
Oh, was that the one to Smith?
Yeah.
Because I only started watching the game when I unfortunately got stuck in Cleveland of all places, trying to fly back from Denver. But that snowstorm that was starting to fall in Michigan and in the Midwest prevented me from landing in Chicago, so I'd be diverted to Cleveland, and I'd spend the night at in a random hotel in Cleveland, which
is nasty.
Oh yeah, no, it was not fun. It was not fun. I got 4 hours of sleep, and then I landed, drove home from Myrtle, which is an hour and a half drive, and then immediately went straight to work.
Yeah,
then
I got back.
Then the LSU Oklahoma game, which just pissed me off partially because Notre Dame, we needed some help. We could have used some help. And Oklahoma was trying everything in their power to shit down their leg. And LSU, man, Brian Kelly, that stink, it wears on you. You just can't get it off. And
can't get it off. It's crazy.
They fucking just can't finish games. I just don't. I've never seen a team just refuse to win close games. It's insane to me. And LSU really should have won that game. And then what was the other one? Alabama Auburn.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into the committee's reasoning for why they moved.
Hey, bro.
They moved Alabama up for being a 5-7 Auburn.
The committee should just not talk.
and then they moved Vandy down 1 for blowing out a ranked Tennessee team by 21 on the road.
Oh, dude told us hey, we moved it. We thought Alabama was.
Cheers, boys.
We thought Alabama should have moved up because, man, they had a really gutsy 4th down call.
Bro,
Oh,
if
God,
that was ridiculous.
What?
They should just go in there and just say what you want to do. All right, just say we want Alabama in the playoffs.
I think we'd be less pissed off if they just straight up said we just want Bama to be as close to making the playoff as possible.
Thank you.
Or no,
Thank you.
A better argument would have just been we think Alabama's better.
Right.
But that's a better argument than just.
But it's not even that, bro. They're just like, yo, and here's what's crazy to me is of all the teams, right? Notre Dame is going to outside of Ohio State in this playoff. Who do they think is going to draw? Now, Alabama's going to draw, Georgia's going to draw. But like, who is going to draw more money than Notre Dame in the playoff?
Miami's not. BYU's
Exactly.
not.
Texas.
Exactly.
Texas maybe, but they lost 3 games. They're done.
Texas isn't in the playoff, right?
No, but I was saying like that. If there's ever excuse for them to just be like, we want
Texas Tech
in there.
is not. I mean, Texas A&M. Neither one of them. Both of them are in, and neither one of them are going to draw.
Yeah, I do want to ask, since we are still on rivalry week, before we get to the committee stuff, how do we feel about Oklahoma and Alabama after this past weekend? Personally,
I think
I'll be honest. Hold on. Personally, this is my personal opinion. I fucking hate Miami with a passion. It's been very toxic between both of our fan bases online for the past 5 weeks. But here's my olive branch to Miami fans, even though I fucking hate you guys with a passion. Here's my olive branch. I think the issue isn't Notre Dame or Miami. I think the issue should be Notre Dame and Miami versus Alabama and Oklahoma. Because the only reason those 2 teams are in over Notre Dame and Miami right now is because of the SEC patch they wear on their jersey and the fact that their schedules are propped up because every other week we're deciding Missouri's a top 25 team, Tennessee's a top 25 team. Fucking
to ensure that they have wins over then ranked
Mississippi State is a top 25.
Mississippi State had 6 wins. That's a lot better than I was expecting.
5 and 7.
And I'll say this, Ryan. I think you'll agree. At the very least, a Miami playoff game. If Miami was in a playoff, whoever they're playing would be at least more entertaining than if Oklahoma was playing. Because Oklahoma has no fucking offense.
I was looking at the numbers.
At the very least, like I think you would agree with that. Like at least Miami probably would be able to score. Oklahoma has a good defense.
Oklahoma, think about this. Oklahoma, I'm looking through the stats. Somebody came out with it. In the CFP era, Oklahoma would have by far the worst offense to ever make a playoff.
In terms of like yards and points per game.
Yep. And they would if you want to go back even further, they would have the worst offense to make a CFP or national championship game since LSU in what was it, 09? I think was the year they had a great defense. But
that was the year. That was the year of the infamous 1-6-3 or like 9-6
9-6
where they beat.
And then they
where it was like
they lost 20-0.
Yeah, and they lost like 21-0 in the championship because they had no offense. Yeah.
So it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know. It's the arguments that the committee makes. Honestly, at this point, it feels like it really is just made up as they go, just to ensure the biggest names make it, or as many teams from a certain conference makes it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I don't like that, but if I don't know, it would be. And this kind of ties into what happens next. If, depending on what happens with the ACC championship, is there still a way that Miami could sneak in? Because there's no way a 5-loss Duke team is ever going to be put in there, even if they win.
Yeah, that kind of takes us to our next.
Don't they automatically get in?
Duke, no.
Oh,
it's just the 5 highest ranked conference champions.
It's not like if this happened last year, then yes, I think it would have been guaranteed, right?
No,
no.
If probably, you know what would have happened is I'm trying to think who the other
G5 conference gets in.
Army would have got in too last year if this was the same case. The problem is Duke 7-5.
The only reason they're making it is because they finished 6. They were 6-2 in the ACC.
Yeah. Which the ACC's whole thing about how they do conference tiebreakers is fucking ridiculous.
No, that's an issue that I've been seeing a lot of people talking about. That ACC needs to fix their tiebreakers and fix the scheduling, because there's also a few teams like Virginia. I think their first game of the year they played a game against NC State. It was their first game of the year, and it was a
didn't count. Yeah,
didn't count.
Well, now, that was because Indiana canceled the game.
How?
Because Indiana and Virginia had a game scheduled.
Right.
Indiana canceled it right before the season because of Signetti's. Why play good teams in the non-con argument?
Why?
So we're gonna cancel Virginia?
Because if anything, what happens is they played Virginia. Ironically, that actually would end up being a good win for them if they had played that game and won. You know what I mean?
Right. It'd be a rank.
Because Virginia's now in the ACC championship. They're what?
Virginia's going to the playoff.
If they win,
they'll go to the playoff.
Well, they're beating Duke, bro.
Duke's a 4. I mean, Virginia only favored by 4.5 points.
I know, which is criminal. I'm betting on that line right now.
These are neutral site games.
I guarantee they win this game by 14 points.
Dude, the ACC has just cannibalized itself this year. I would not be surprised, honestly, if Duke won, because that would just be fucking hilarious, honestly.
But the whole argument, the whole debate with this, right, is so obviously if Duke wins, I don't think they're not getting in, right? So it would be, but the thing is, if you are the committee, I think it should be James Madison, right? If they're 12-1, I think they deserve a spot over Duke. What would you guys do? Because I saw Manny Diaz come out and say, well, you can't leave a Power 4 champion out.
7. I think this is the only, if Duke wins, this is the only way that I can see Miami getting in somehow, would be if they want to somehow ensure that there's at least a representative
and
from all the
ACC representative.
And ACC representative that makes sense. This is really the only way I can see it happening for Miami. And I know that would piss you off, obviously, if Miami makes it and somehow Notre Dame doesn't. I don't see a way that Notre Dame doesn't make it personally. But if somehow that's about the only way I can see it breaking where Miami ever actually makes the playoff is because of this. Now, the other thing could be, do you go with the JMU? Could you go with a second, maybe the team that loses this North Texas Tulane game? Maybe you bring the winner and then you take either Tulane or you just take Navy because of how well
you can't because it has to be a conference champion.
Okay.
So then your options would be the American champion, either whoever wins. So the American champion, JMU if they win the Sun Belt. Your option or Boise State, UNLV if they win the Mountain West, or it would be Kennesaw State or Jacksonville State. That would be your options, or Duke. And it's like, I get you don't. To me, it doesn't really matter. Whoever you put in that spot's going to get their ass kicked in round 1 because they're going to be playing Oregon anyway. So it kind of is a moot point. But realistically, do we think Duke or James Madison would give Oregon a better challenge? I really don't know if it's that different.
Well, my question real quick is Chesney still at JMU? Or is he also left?
He's still there.
No, he's still there. Yeah, he's coaching.
Still there. So I think a ultra motivated JMU like that, knowing this might be the only ever chance they have at a college football playoff, I think that could be a challenge, possibly. Duke, their defense is okay from what I've actually seen. They've kept some high-scoring teams. Well, they've had bad games too, but they've had games where they beat Georgia Tech and cost Georgia Tech from making the playoff with the championship.
No, they didn't beat Georgia Tech. They got blown out by Georgia Tech. They beat Who did they beat? They beat somebody.
Anyway, I don't know.
They beat Clemson, but
there's absolutely no way, of course, that I just don't see a way they're going to have a 5-loss team put in the playoff, unless they're Alabama.
yeah. But yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about National Signing Day real quick. Michigan, I think, was it Phil said you guys finished with what, 11th ranked class?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the greatest 11th ranked class of all time in the history of recruiting rankings. No, I'm joking. But no, I'm pretty okay with the class. I think the surprise Zion Robinson flipping to Stanford was a surprise. Julian Walker flipping to South Carolina, a little less of a surprise. But still sucked. But then we were able to flip Brady Marquise from Georgia to Michigan. So those were the major flips for us.
Yeah. And then was it Connor? Where did you guys end up finishing in terms of
So to give context to either right after or right before we hired James Franklin, we were ranked 124th in the country. We had a few teams that were like FCS or Group of 5 team, and a bunch of Group of 5 teams, obviously, way above us. We finished, depending on where you saw, I think ESPN had us 25, Rivals had us at like 22, 24/7 had us somewhere in the top 25 at least. So it sounds like it was a universal top 25. That is a remarkable turnaround, obviously, and that was just with a relatively small class. Like how many guys did Michigan sign?
I think we signed 17.
Okay, so you had 17. I think we got like something like 20.
Maybe it was 21.
Here, Ryan, you want to scroll down?
Yeah, I got it. Hold on a second.
Oh no, we got 25 guys.
So I don't know if it's Rivals the average ranking, but I don't know if it was on the Rivals average ranking, but I think VT's. Okay, 27. So VT was at 27. I think 24/7 had us at 22 or 25. Their individual player rankings, like their average rank was for VT was like the highest ever, at least according to their metric.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a remarkable kind of turnaround for VT. And obviously, yes, we did pillage a lot of Penn State guys, but we also got a few surprises. We actually did get a surprise flip from Penn State that most of us weren't expecting. It was Tyson Harrell. He's a D-end, 4-star D-end. We weren't expecting to get him. We got him. Got a flip from someone from Syracuse. Got a flip from a guy from JMU, Minnesota. So it wasn't just all Penn State, obviously. But it's for doing that in just 2 weeks and just 2 official visits where Franklin is your head coach is honestly like incredible. And that's without really he hasn't hired a staff. Other than guys that he brought that was, I guess, like maybe assistants from Penn State and whoever is still at VT helping out. That's the class he was able to put together. So yeah, it's definitely exciting to see what can maybe be done once he has a full year, once he gets through the full motions, fully recruiting the 757 and the rest of the state of Virginia and the surrounding kind of area, the rest of the mid-Atlantic. I mean, it's remarkable, honestly.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. I think this is part of why you're seeing so many, like, now that you have a 12 team, you have the portal, you have NIL, you're starting to notice that the talent is starting to get spread out a lot more evenly. Like, I feel like before, like NIL and everything, it felt like the number 1, number 2, maybe number 3 classes, that's where all the 5 stars went, right?
Mhm.
And now it's like you're seeing, the number 1 class, USC has 1. Notre Dame and Oregon are kind of like the only 2 teams that
Have more than
have
2. Like,
have more than like 3. Like most of the 5 stars went to Notre Dame or Oregon in this class, but then it's like Alabama has 3, Georgia has 1, Ohio State 1, Tennessee 2, Texas A&M 1, Miami 1, Texas 3, LSU 2, Michigan 2. Like the top 12 all have 5 stars, and most of them have 2 or more. So I think that's a very good sign for college football because not all the talent's going to Alabama or Georgia or just Ohio State. And the fact that you're seeing teams like USC and Notre Dame and even Oregon to a certain extent be the top 3 teams in a recruiting cycle, I feel like I've never seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that. Like it's always been Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, some combination of that. I mean, I was talking about it off air. We just signed our best class in school history. We have never had 4 or 5 stars in the class, even after our 2012 year where we signed I think it was like the number 2 or number 3 class. It didn't have 4 or 5 stars. So yeah, it's definitely looked like it's starting to get spread out. And I think this is great for college football as a whole. So yeah, we can go ahead and we can talk about the playoff now. Kind of talk about our like we talked about earlier, get more in depth into it. Final rankings coming out, pull that up. How are we feeling? I mean, obviously, I know what I'm gonna bitch about, but how do you guys feel about these rankings?
So are you only bitching about the fact that Miami is still ranked in the top 12, or
No,
the fact that Notre Dame's that low?
No, I'll explain.
Well, the Alabama jumping them and the reasoning behind it was pretty pathetic. I'd be upset with that too. But yeah, in terms of this top, 25, I'm not too mad at the top 20, the rankings here. If I'm Ryan, if I'm a Notre Dame fan, though, I am a little upset here. We won 10 straight football games. They weren't close. Yeah, they weren't close. And even the teams that people said were going to beat us or were ranked and was supposed to be a game like Pitt, i.e. Pitt, that was a BTA. So yeah, they did lose to Miami. Head-to-head people I know are going to be all over that. I'm one of the people that thinks Miami should get some credit for beating Notre Dame. And then their other loss was to another, before last week, top 5 team. Mm-hmm. So they've only lost to playoff teams that if everything was just 1 through 12, both of those teams would be in the playoff, right? So I get it on that level, being upset. I think that's the only controversial thing here, though. I mean, Oklahoma, sure, we can argue about their offense and everything like that, but they also played a gauntlet. They had a rough schedule in the SEC, and actually got through it pretty unscathed.
Mm-hmm. Connor?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it was a little weak, obviously, of how they explained Alabama being that high. I understand moving Texas up a little bit, obviously being Texas A&M, but they're putting them in a position to almost, if some shenanigans happens above,
right, that
somehow this is going to be some weird, stupid back doorway that the committee is going to put Texas in the top 12 or inside maybe the top 10.
I think Texas is locked out. I don't think there's any. Miami would jump in before they would. I think they're done. I think they're stuck right there. I don't think
it's going to be tough. But if BYU and Alabama lose,
the Notre Dame, Alabama, I think Alabama's locked. personally.
Even
I
if
don't
they
think they're gonna.
lose.
I think
Even
that's
if
why
they
they.
lose.
Oh,
I think
they only
that's
have
what,
one loss, so I guess that makes
again.
sense.
I think
Unless
that's
it's like
why
a
they.
complete, unless it's like a complete
They have
blowout.
two losses. They have 2 losses.
Yeah, I think that's why they
Wait,
moved. But I think that
who'd they lose to?
they lost to Georgia or not Georgia. They lost to Oklahoma and Florida State.
Yeah.
Oh,
Florida
okay.
State loss
If
is
they lose, then
looking
yeah, they're locked out. Yeah, they
ass right now, by the way.
Florida State.
I
Yeah.
think that's why they moved them up to 9, so that either way, no matter what happens, if they lose, they can just say, "Well, we're going to drop them, but we're not going to drop them out of the playoff. We're just dropping them to 10." I think that's why they did it, to give them cushion and kind of a reason to keep them in. So that's why I think they did it. But yeah, I think Texas is done. My only, like I said, my bigger argument is the Alabama thing, which again, if you want to have Alabama ahead and just say, well, they have a better resume, they have a win against Georgia, we think they're better right now. Cool. But when you go on television and you say with a straight face, well, a few of the votes in the committee room changed because we watched Alabama play, go on the road and play really well against Auburn in a rivalry game at night. They were up 17-0 at one point. The key word at one point. And then they said Auburn battled back, made it a game. And man, that gutsy call on 4th and 2, that just really won some of us over. So and then he kind of just mentioned, and yeah, Notre Dame played well too. They went on the road and beat Stanford by 29. Like, okay, so we beat a 4-8 team by 29. Alabama barely scrapes by a 5-7 Auburn team. Alabama's better. That totally makes sense. And then the other argument and me and Lucas have been kind of going at it because he thinks and I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on this. He thinks it's a moral, it's a thing you have to do for the competitive nature of the sport. He thinks if it comes down to one spot and you have Notre Dame and you have Miami, that the head-to-head is the only thing that matters, and that should be why Miami jumps Notre Dame. I disagree with it. What do you guys think? If it comes down to a final spot and you have to pick between Notre Dame and Miami, who are you guys going with?
This is tough for me. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, they have the same amount of losses, and they did beat Notre Dame. It's tough. Now, granted, I do think Notre Dame's losses are better, but one of those losses is to the team that we're comparing them to. So that's gotta count. If not, why are we playing the games? I'm one of those people. Don't play the game then. If I have the same record as the team that I beat, on a neutral field, basically, because Miami fans don't go to Miami games.
Miami fans are a myth. They don't exist.
Exactly right. Then we shouldn't play anybody. We shouldn't play a Notre Dame then, because you're telling me that it doesn't matter that I beat them. So I get it from that standpoint, but I also think that Notre Dame was putting belt to ass.
And I would fear that would set a bad precedent of getting rid of good non-conference games.
Right. Although this is technically like a conference game, I don't know.
Yeah, but like we're already seeing that with all the conferences going to 9 conference games.
Yeah.
Non-con. So, and now we're seeing now we've been hearing a bunch of teams saying we're not gonna, like Indiana, we're not gonna schedule good teams because we want to ensure that we have as many wins as possible, so that even if we maybe do struggle and lose maybe a game or two in a conference, we can still be in a position to make the conference championship or backdoor our way into the playoff as an at-large bid because we weren't in the conference championship, right?
Yeah.
It takes away from being able to see a Texas versus Ohio State to open the season, right? Getting a neutral site game, like where you a South Carolina versus Virginia Tech kind of matchup or something like that, or between ranked teams and stuff like that. Those always those are always the most fun, in my opinion, ways to open the season, are the non-conference neutral site games like that.
All right, so let me ask you guys this question.
I think the ultimate tiebreaker, the first tiebreaker, in my opinion, that should ever be used is just straight head to head. I think that's just the ultimate first one that should be done. Who won against who? Miami beat Notre Dame. That should be the first reason that should be like I wouldn't say the ultimate reason, but that should be like, well, they already beaten them, right? Like
once we've gotten past record, absolutely. Yeah.
That's already used as like the main tiebreaker in every sport,
right?
Had to create, possible matchups in the playoffs and determines that. The other thing for me, though, is that you can look at it as like, which team do you think also would, if I'm the committee, obviously, like I said, it feels like the rules have been made up as we're going along, but they want to ensure that the product and the playoff is entertaining, because always every year, ever since the playoff first started, there's always been at least one game that's just been a complete and utter blowout. It's been straight cheeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Sometimes it's the game we think. Sometimes it's not. It's like the LSU versus Oklahoma game from in 2019 when Joe Burrow goes fucking insane and just puts belt to ass against Oklahoma, throws like 6 touchdown passes, and LSU wins by 30. Like, sometimes it's like that. So like, is the thinking also which of the teams do we think will put up the best show and which will keep their game close? Then yeah, it probably would be actually Notre Dame, because Miami had to, against VT decided to score a touchdown with like 20 seconds left to make the differential look better than it actually was. When they were only up by like 10 or something, they scored a touchdown to go up by, I think, 17 or 20 to make it look like it was more of a blowout than it actually was, even against a bad VT team. So, like, if you're going by that, then yeah, it might be Notre Dame. But, like I said, I think, unfortunately for Notre Dame, there is a path right now for Miami to backdoor their way in, and that's if Duke wins, then they're going to be like, okay, well, we want at least one ACC team in. We already have Miami as the top-ranked team. Maybe whoever the loser of – now, maybe not Texas Tech, unless they get blown out, because that's far if they were to fall from like 4 all the way down out of the 12. But say BYU right above Miami loses to Texas Tech. Cool. Move Miami up to they'll move Miami up to 11. Alabama loses. They move Miami up, and Miami is in the top in there. Now, I don't think there's any way Notre Dame falls out, but I think that's the path where Notre Dame and Miami make it. I don't think I don't think there's any way where Miami makes it, but Notre Dame doesn't.
I think there is. I think, and that's what we're talking about. I think, but here's my question to you guys, and this would be my rebuttal to what you guys say. I get the head-to-head argument. My argument, and what a lot of Notre Dame fans' argument is, cool. Yeah, we lost the game week 1 at Hard Rock, starting a freshman quarterback in his first career start on the road with a new DC, implementing a completely new defense, and Miami needed a late game field goal to win that game, right? Week 1. And meanwhile, teams can get better. Week 1 this year and most years is wacky. You see wacky results. Florida State beat the shit out of Alabama week 1. like seriously, and how I look at it, and how I think a lot of Notre Dame fans look at it, is Miami was the inferior team, but they played Notre Dame at their worst possible version of themselves week 1 at home and won that game by 3, and then proceeded to lose to 2 unranked teams in the worst Power 4 conference. Meanwhile, Notre Dame, after that game, they lost another heartbreaker at home to a top 7 team where, if you watch the game, Notre Dame got hoed by a non-called missed holding call that was as blatant as all get out, and then just belt to ass everybody else on the schedule, including a USC team that I don't know why people disrespect USC this year. I hate them, but this is the best USC team we've seen in quite a while. If USC would have won that game, they would be in the playoff right now. There would be no discussion. And we beat them by 10. It's just one of those things where I think, yes, Miami has the head-to-head argument, but that's the only argument they have. They have the worst losses, their schedule's weaker, and the eye test. And I get people are like, you can't use the eye test. It's hard.
They do have a worse schedule, and everything you said is true, basically, right? However, bro, the week one argument has to go by the wayside, or what Sarkisian is saying is right. Like, bro, I'm not gonna play anybody then. Why would I play anybody? Now, granted, in this Miami Notre Dame case, it might be a little different because Notre Dame's a quasi ACC member, but we can't have the game mean nothing.
Yeah.
It can't mean nothing. I don't care that you were playing a freshman. If you're at Miami, you think Miami cares that you played a freshman and that you had this new defense that you were implementing? No. Did they sign up to play us? Did they show up? Yes.
Okay. Then my only other question would be, so the goal of the committee, right, is to get the 12 best teams.
Right.
Who do you guys think is the better team right now?
I think Notre Dame is better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that would be my case too, is if the goal is to get the best teams,
but also
not the most deserving.
But also it's really not the goal to get the best teams, because if that were the case, we wouldn't be allowing a Tulane or whoever else is about to be in here.
That's true.
In here.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, because right now Tulane is winning and they're 35 minutes away from possibly making the playoff as the 20th ranked team in the country right now, according to the CFB.
I just think it's frustrating for us because
that's actually another thing. I keep forgetting that's another reason. That's another reason why Notre Dame and BYU and Miami are all kind of shaky, because if they're at 10, 11, 12, because you do have the winner of this game making the playoff. So at least
I also think it just sucks because, again, I said this earlier, I think Notre Dame and Miami are both one of the 12 best teams in the country, and realistically, I think they're very underranked right now, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Notre Dame right now, they're top 4 in national championship odds of any team. I just think it'd be such a waste to leave out either one of them, because I think both of them can beat teams that are right now comfortably in the playoff. And that's the annoying part for me, is I feel like it for either of us. For Notre Dame, it's a waste of a season. For Notre Dame, why did we schedule our 2 hardest games at the beginning of the year? Why do that ever again if we're going to get punished for playing?
Or you make it to where you schedule it to where you try and schedule those closer to the end of the year. And be like,
we're at our best, but that's the problem. Is,
But that
nobody is going to agree to that. Nobody wants to do that.
That's
exactly. No one's going to agree to that, obviously, because the rest of the because it won't work that way, because unfortunately.
Because whoever loses then is going to be overly punished, because like Ryan said, if we're at our best, somebody has to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
if we had Texas versus Ohio State playing now,
right?
If Texas wins, all of a sudden, if they were 8-3, all of a sudden you play the number 1 team in the country, and you're second to last week of the season, right? Texas wins that at Ohio State and was like, whoa, look at Texas. Then that would boost them up so much. Probably would put a Texas with 3 losses into the playoff, just because of hey, they beat the number 1 team in the country at that team so late in the season, right?
And I get that you can't always use the betting lines and stuff like that as a measuring stick, because we see upsets happen all the time. But if you look at just how the BCS would look right now, and how, based off of all the analytics that the committee uses, and you put it into a computer and who would be favored on a neutral field, Miami and Notre Dame, they would both be favored to beat Alabama. They would both be favored to beat BYU. They would both be favored to beat Oklahoma. Notre Dame would be favored to beat Oklahoma by 10, according to the model. Like, they would both be favored to beat A&M. They would both be favored to beat Ole Miss. They would both be favored to beat Oregon.
I feel
Texas Tech, that's the problem.
Really?
Yes, that's every metric that the committee uses that tells you down to a science about what they think who the better team is.
So they feel that good about Texas Tech?
They think that they would. No, Notre Dame and Miami, they said, would be a pick'em for Texas Tech. Notre Dame
and not Oregon.
I honestly feel like the only reason they're favored against Ole Miss a little bit is because Kiffin's now gone.
Like, I think that's part of it. That's part of it.
That is part of it. I'll admit that.
But then, like, they're a pick 'em against Texas Tech, but Notre Dame and Miami would also be favored by 3.5 over Georgia. Like,
what?
Miami
and Notre Dame?
I know. Yes. What? But that's what I mean. It's like I would disagree with the Miami one on that a little bit, but that's
probably right now. I'd slightly disagree on the Notre Dame as well, but that's just me. But
overall,
Georgia, Notre Dame and Miami would be favored over Georgia.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was my reaction too.
The only two teams that Notre Dame and Miami wouldn't be favored over is Ohio State, Indiana, and Notre Dame. If Notre Dame and Indiana played, Indiana would be favored by 0.5 point. So that's how close they would consider that game.
First of all, I think Notre Dame would smack Indiana. That's number one. But I also think Miami probably would too. I don't know, man.
You really don't like Indiana, do you?
No, it's not even like I don't necessarily like them. I love their story. I don't think that they have the talent to be where they are. Right? I do think Cignetti was smart.
Way above their actual.
I think Virginia would beat them.
You know what? And we'll talk about this more Sunday on the Sunday show when we do our post reaction to the rankings. But I do think that inevitably this is going to move to 16. But it's ironic because I remember last year, right?
And we're getting in there.
Yeah. Most years Michigan will probably be in there. But ironically, last year, around this time, what was the whole talk? People are like, the 12-team playoff was a bad idea. There's not 12 teams that can realistically win a championship.
Because
this year,
last year was like it seemed like there was no many people were thinking that it was really like the top 3 or 4.
Well, this year the difference is,
and then Ohio State out of nowhere at number 8, goes on a tear and just wins the title. So,
also, they did it differently this year, right? Like, so the top.
Now it's just not like that's what that way it's not if you win your conference,
right?
The conference winner automatically gets the bye,
right?
Because then all those teams lost their first game.
But still, like, what were the teams that were around the Notre Dame, BYU, and Miami spot last year? SMU, Indiana. Like, we all knew those teams had no shot, right? Compare that to this year. I could make an argument for Texas to get in. I can make an argument for Vanderbilt to get in. I don't think there'd be a very good argument, but I could still make an argument for Utah to get in. I can definitely make an argument for Miami, BYU, Notre Dame, like
Michigan.
All right, now we're getting a little too far. But no, like I genuinely do think this would be the perfect year to just be like, fuck it. Emergency expansion. Put it to 16.
Emergency expansion.
Domain expansion. Domain expansion.
And I also thought of this, and I haven't really seen people talk about this too. And then we'll move on to our pick'ems. But I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on this really quick. I was thinking about this. Instead of like moving it to 16 teams, right? And you get in, it's like 16, like first round, second round, that type of thing. Why don't we do it's technically a 16-team playoff, but it's more of a like what they do in the NCAA tournament where they have the first 4, where it's like a play-in between the last 4 teams that get selected or on the bubble.
Not a bad idea.
And you could play those games on conference championship weekend or the week after conference championship weekend. And that's how you decide That way you're not sitting here and having a committee make up bullshit narratives.
I got a great idea.
You play it on the field.
Everybody's in the playoff week 1. So potentially, listen, you could have a 1-game season.
What I've always wanted is the FCS playoff method.
24 teams? You want 24 teams?
That sounds OD.
It's 24 teams. You have like the top 8 or something, I think, have buys. You have like the top 8 that have buys. The top 4 have like a double buy or something. I think that'd be a little too long.
What the hell?
I think.
You would have to. What you'd have to do though is because you would run too far into the NFL season, and the NFL wouldn't like that, right? So you would
have to have the playoffs.
What are they gonna do about it?
Have the playoffs every week. You'd have to have the playoffs like start the week after conference championships, and then it would have to be every week as part of the.
I think that'd be too much. Like, the amount of injuries you'd have would be
true.
Or everyone's in the playoff.
136.
So if you lose, it's in a guillotine league. If you lose, your season's just automatically over.
1 game, your season's over.
Dude, imagine Michigan loses to Appalachian State their first game of the year.
Yo.
Well, it's basketball. We lose to NIU.
You'd come mad on here after you guys lose to Northern Illinois again, week 2, and you're like, "Fuck! I thought we were going to make it to week 5 at least."
Well, hey man, you know what I'd be? Hey man, at least I got lacrosse season in like 6
Boy,
months.
you think Signetti trying to get us off schedule now? You'd be trying to schedule the Citadel.
He'd be pulling some SEC shit, getting the Citadel and getting like.
Right
and shit like that.
Right. IUPUI. I don't even know if they have a football team.
No, the SEC is like this is 5D chess. We've had this plan from the beginning to have these cupcakes at the end of the season that everyone complains about.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get to the pick'ems.
Lucas, unless he really fucks up somehow, but I don't think there's enough this week. But he's clinched. He's clinched at least the regular season.
Yeah, he's clinched well, we would have to pick the exact opposite and hope that all of those picks, like that would be what you'd have to do.
My 3 years, 3-year reign at the top
is over
as the pick'em champ has ended. But your reign as the fantasy champ has
just begun.
Yes, you beat me in the championship in fantasy football, in college fantasy football.
Old Dominion, whoever the Old Dominion quarterback is, you are fucking amazing.
He's in the whoever he is. He doesn't even know this guy's name.
Colton Joseph. Also, your running back, Caleb Hawkins, he is actually out of the game now for North Texas. He walked off without his pads. Walked off the field without his pads on like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
he's out of the
Caleb.
Game, so.
He gave me 5 touchdowns last week, and then in the championship game.
No wonder you kicked my ass by 50 points. With our weird ass scoring that we have in this league, anyway.
Yeah, it's something. Okay. All right. Well, we picked this game. I believe I said we all picked James Madison, right? I think so.
Of course. Why? These are all set for 10 seconds. Why are they all set for 10 seconds?
I don't know. Why is that set like that?
I chose Kennesaw State. Go Owls. Are they the Owls? Who are they? What are they?
They are the Owls. Yeah. They were our team of the year last year. How dare you? Yeah. North Tech. I took North Texas.
I took North Texas. They're down 17-7 right now to Tulane.
Not looking good.
Nope.
But hey, we're fighting for second place right now, so you know.
Yes, that's very true.
Absolutely, that's the real battle.
That's the real champ. That's the real championship right there.
Lucas isn't here, so fuck him. Second is the best, of course.
UNL Boise State. I took Boise.
I took UNLV, and they're getting smacked.
What's the score right now?
21 donut.
So wait, that makes our resume look better because we beat Boise State. Yeah. We beat the Mountain West champ.
And I took the elite program of UNLV, and that's not
that elite program.
What is it you like to say, Connor? The best Broncos in all of football?
Yes, they are the best Broncos in all of football.
All right. Miami, Ohio versus Western Michigan. Ironically, both of these teams started their season 0-4.
Damn. I'm going Miami of Ohio.
I'm going Western Michigan, the best team in Michigan.
Stop it.
Both college and especially NFL.
Yeah, I am also going with the best.
No, I'm getting that
team.
wrong. That was Ohio. I was getting that mixed up.
I am also going with the best team in the state of Michigan, also called the Broncos. Yes. Ironically enough,
they are the
second best.
They're the second best Broncos in all of football.
Yeah. All right, the BYU Cougars versus Texas Tech in a rematch.
A 12.5 underdog. That's crazy. Jeez.
I don't think it's crazy. If you saw the first game, Texas Tech.
Yeah, give me the Red Raiders. Give me the fighting Graham Harrells.
I am even though their head coach hates us, for whatever reason, I am the biggest Red Raider fan this weekend. All right, Duke, as Josh likes to call them, Puke, versus number 17 Virginia. Virginia's only a 4.5-point favorite.
Yeah, you need Duke to win this game, don't you?
I need Virginia to win this game.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Because if Duke wins, then that's how Miami probably gets in, and that's why I'm taking Duke, because fuck Virginia, and it would be absolutely hilarious. And Ryan. If Notre Dame makes it, Ryan, I know you're going to lose your shit if Miami made it.
I'll tell you right now, and this is a PSA. If Notre Dame gets left out Sunday, you guys might need to check up on me.
You said you're not even going to watch any football the rest
I'm not watching football the rest of the season.
Virginia would make it though, right?
NFL, so that means your Broncos can make the Super Bowl and you're not going to watch it.
Yeah, you're wilding, right? You're right. You're wilding.
You're totally wilding, and that's
pure depression.
Ridiculously fucking crazy crash out.
But, I think Virginia wins this game big. I already placed my bet on them covering this spread.
All right, give me Virginia.
Whatever.
Okay.
Oh,
I got it, Ryan. Number 3, Georgia versus number 9, Alabama. Georgia is just a 2.5-point favorite.
This is tough. I picked Bama to win this game.
Give me the Dogs and Kirby Smart in a rematch.
Yeah, give me the Dogs. I also find it ridiculous, real quick, that this is not the game that College Game Day is going to. It's ridiculous that they're not going to 1-2.
I'm guessing they're going to Georgia, Bama.
Bro,
yes, it's so fucking stupid.
Indiana doesn't move the needle.
It's still 1-2. I don't give a shit. Okay, Week 0 podcast, Game of the Week. Number 2, Indiana, undefeated, versus number 1, Ohio State, undefeated. Ohio State, just a 4-point favorite at Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm guessing that's usually where it is, if that's correct.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So, what you got?
So this is basically a home game for Indiana.
Pretty much, yeah. Actually.
Stop it.
There'll be 30% Indiana fans there.
Because Ohio State's going to show up.
I really want Indiana to win, just for you to have a little bit of egg on your face, Phil.
Yeah. Listen, I want Indiana to win.
I mean, obviously, you'd actually be happy if that was the case.
Absolutely.
But
could you imagine if Ohio State lost to Indiana for a Big Ten championship?
And Indiana is the number 1 team in the country.
Even if it is short-lived.
No, Indiana's number 1. Vandy backdoors their way into the playoff there, and it's like
Duke 7-5. Duke gets in.
Duke somehow, for some reason, they put Duke in at 7-5.
They say forget the argument, get Notre Dame and Miami out of here.
Yeah, put BYU in there.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I'm going. I think Ohio State gives absolute belt to ass.
Yeah.
To Indiana in this game.
I agree. I want Ohio State to lose every game, including this one, but I just think they're too good.
Like I hate it personally, and I know the brackets aren't out yet, but and this is gonna close your ears, Phil. But I think Ohio State's probably gonna repeat as national champs again, which is just absolutely disgusting. Connor,
Man, I really. So you both taking Ohio State?
Yeah.
Just to be contrarian, I'm going to take Indiana just because it's hilarious. One, Duke. I already picked Duke because fuck Virginia. This and that would be hilarious. And then I'm going to take Indiana because that would also be hilarious. Now, do I actually think it's going to happen? No, but at this point, I can't win the pick'ems, so I'm just kind of taking what I want to take. And then, of course, the week after the game, all by itself, a game that I always hope I can go to in person at least once in my life. Army versus Navy. I believe this is again in Philadelphia. It's usually Philly's held it the most amount of times ever because it's relatively in between both schools, relative distance wise. So you guys got?
I got Navy.
Yeah, these games, it's really weird because it feels like the team that typically is having the worst season is the one that wins it. Same thing happened last year.
No.
Navy
came in and put belt to ass against Army. Army was like on the cusp of making the playoff. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I think Army has a chance, but I think Navy is the better team. So go Navy, beat Army.
Yeah, of course, I'm always going to pick Navy. Navy's offense is incredible. Blake Horvath, Eli Heidenreich, Alex Teska.
The fact they are not ranked, by the way, is blasphemous.
Criminal. It really is criminal, in my opinion.
But you know what? The College Football Playoff Committee hates America, so we get it.
Yeah, the one thing that will keep Army in is that Navy's defense is not very good, both against the pass and the run overall. So that's about the only way that they'll.
I don't know. Something tells me they don't have to worry about the pass very much against Army, but that's just
Well, but I feel in recent years, all the three teams, Army, Navy, Air Force that ran the triple option have passed a bit, have been passing more and more each year. Obviously, Horvath passed a lot this year. I think Eli Heidenreich broke the school record for receiving yards in a single game earlier this year for Navy. So, Army's. So I think there'll be a bit more passing than what we're used to, but. Yeah, go Navy, beat Army all day, every day. So I believe that is it, guys. Good little show. I don't know why, Ryan, you were hiding there for a second, but
no.
But anyway,
Yeah,
I unfortunately will not be able to make it to the Sunday show. Well, it depends because I'll be at work from 2:45 to 11:45 p.m. So I might be able to step in on my phone for a little bit. Depending on what time, what time is the rank? Where did the rank?
11, I think. 11 Central, 12 Eastern. I want to say.
Oh, it's at noon.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I was thinking it was gonna be like 7 p.m. Okay, I'll probably be able to make it then if it's at noon. Yeah.
Let me see real quick. Let me double check.
Yeah, let's check that before we say goodbye.
From 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, 12.
Why is it fucking 3 hours? What are they going to do for 3 hours?
No, they're gonna give the rankings inside the top in the first 15 minutes, and then they're gonna spend the remaining.
They're gonna spend 2 hours and 45 minutes debating about shit.
Debating about why this team should and shouldn't have made it. So
and I think they also announced the bowl games. So that's why it's also.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. Yeah. So all the other bowl games will come during that time too.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I did want to shout this out before we sign off because we didn't get to talk about it. Shout out to Delaware. The Blue Hens being the first team in Week 0 podcast history, the first team of the year to make a bowl game. Now, technically, the bowl ban, was supposed to happen, but because they didn't have enough bowl eligible teams this year,
They actually let them
Delaware
in.
got it. And Missouri
Oh, that's
State.
cool.
Missouri State also, and the other team that joined.
How long is the bowl ban? Like 2-3 years? It's ridiculous.
It's a year. It's a year.
Who is this? Who is this?
Delaware.
Oh,
Made a bowl game.
wow.
So there,
Yeah.
so it's their first year in the FBS.
Right.
There wasn't enough. There's not enough teams right now to make bowls. And they're what? Are they 6-6 or 7-5?
6-6.
Nice.
All right.
They're gonna be enjoying playing in the Boca Raton Bowl, and they'll be happy about it.
Yeah.
Real
quick.
or whatever Bahamas Bowl it is. You know what I mean? They'll be somewhere sunny and warm.
Go ahead, Phil.
Real quick. North Carolina quarterback Max Johnson has entered the portal. I bring this up because it's very, very intriguing. This guy's been in college a long time. Just for context, he was a quarterback on Orgeron's when he got fired, and he was also on Jimbo's roster at Texas A&M when he got fired. That's how long this kid's been in. He's not a kid. I can't call him a kid.
He's not a kid. He's a man.
That's how long this man has been in college football, and he's in the portal, bro. Stop it. It's not time to hop in the portal. It's time to upload that resume to Indeed, sir.
He's just doing it because he knows there's no career for him in the NFL.
What did you see? Tommy Castellanos, the Florida State quarterback, requested an extra year of eligibility.
I did.
Got denied, and now he's suing the NCAA for another year.
Wow.
So, he's been in college what, like 5-6 years, Castellanos?
5 years. 5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
These guys think that just because they came in as like freshmen either the year of or the year after COVID, that someone get an extra year for some fucking reason.
Stop it. I want all of you to leave college, all right?
Please.
Go start a family. Go do something.
Most of them
Exactly.
probably that's the issue. Most of them probably do have kids because they're old enough to have kids.
Upload that resume to Indeed,
From
sir.
NIL to pay for the baby mamas.
Go ahead, get you a fucking customer service job.
What was
You're
it?
done.
College Game Day had a 58-year-old college football player on the show.
You're a support tech for a alarm company.
Bro.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Man.
Well,
All right.
For Phil, for Ryan, I'm Connor. This is a Week So podcast. We will be back on Sunday reacting to the official college football playoff rankings.